Welcome to the best way to research MLB pitcher strikeout props on PrizePicks. Let's start out with something a little controversial. Looking up the last 5 game logs on PrizePicks and deciding which pitcher strikeouts you should be taking is not how you should be doing things. No, last 5 game logs means absolutely nothing in every single sport, but especially pitcher strikeouts. The last 5 games, there are so many different variables across those games, what teams they're playing, the players that are playing, the lineup, etc. So much different stuff that is from game to game in the MLB, especially for pitchers. Sportsbooks are not stupid. If you think that they're giving you favorable K lines where a guy has gone over in 5 out of the last 5 games and you're getting the same number again that he's gone over in each of those games and you think you're getting a steal, well, that's just simply not true. The sportsbooks are taking everything into consideration when setting their projections and odds. They have multi-million-dollar algorithms and models with everything that you think you can look up and more, right? They know about the last 5, the last 10 game logs. They know about the matchups. They know about the ballpark. They're taking into consideration weather, everything that you think you know, and more. But Justin Verlander has gone over in strikeouts against the Yankees in 15 out of his last 15 games versus the Yankees. Guys, that historical data means nothing. Please do not do this when you're researching your props for anything, but especially pitcher K props. I mean, think about it. That probably extends over a few years into his starts against the Yankees if you go back 15 different games, right? And the lineup could be so different, totally different teams. There's just so much that is different, and that doesn't matter for this year's team and the team that he's going up against today or tomorrow whenever you're placing this prop. Now, I'm not saying you can't gain an edge against PrizePicks, because you can. But it's not because they're stupid. They just happen to be a little bit slower than the rest of the market. So what you need to be doing is taking into consideration the sportsbook market, where their projections and odds are at, and compare them back to PrizePicks. And that's exactly what I do. I use Daily Grind Fantasy to help me compare sportsbooks lines and odds directly back to PrizePicks, Underdog, and other different DFS apps. This helps me find the best possible value on the PrizePicks board for not only pitcher K props, but all of the different props you can find on PrizePicks across all of the sports, including esports. Now I'm going to show you some specific K-prop examples and what you should be looking for when you're researching on Daily Grind Fantasy. But before we get into that, if you guys want to check out Daily Grind Fantasy, I'll leave a link down in the description below. But if you use my code DustinDGF34, you'll actually get 25% off your very first month. And in case you didn't already know this, 5 and 6 man flexes are the 2 best slip types to be playing on PrizePicks if you actually want to win money over the long term. Let me explain why. So, for 5 and 6 man flexes, we are getting each individual leg in our PrizePicks slip at minus 119 odds, and that's because PrizePicks doesn't change your payouts for taking the over or the under of these specific props, which means we need to hit at a hit rate above 54.2% of the time on our individual legs over the long term to actually be profitable playing these 2 slip types, which in comparison to 2 and 3 mans, where you need to be right almost 58+% of the time, in those slip types, that's a big deal at about 4% difference. So why make things hard on yourself and have to be right almost 4% more of the time playing 2 and 3 mans when you could just play 5 and 6 man flexes and just deal with a little bit of variance when you can still have a lower hit rate but profit more long term? At the time of this recording, this is currently what the pitcher strikeout board looks like as far as value goes on PrizePicks, so nothing too crazy, but there is a little bit of value here. If you guys didn't know, Daily Grind Fantasy pulls in all of the sportsbook data into one place at one time for you to be able to quickly and efficiently scan the sportsbook market, find what has above a 54.2+% chance to hit based off the sportsbooks, and easily get these plays into your slips before they bump. Let's talk through this top play off Daily Grind Fantasy's PrizePicks Optimizer and show you why this is good enough value to throw into 5 and 6 man flexes. Well, as you can see here, it is telling us to take the under of 4.5 pitcher strikeouts from Michael Lorenzen, and you can see that average odds across the major sportsbooks have this at about minus 136 to go under 4.5 strikeouts. With this being average odds of minus 136 to the under, this is saying that 9 sportsbooks all agree that this has a much better chance to hit the under based on how they are setting his odds when comparing to PrizePicks giving this to us at minus 119 odds in those 5 and 6 man flexes. And now using this sportsbook data, Daily Grind Fantasy is able to do the math on the back end to find the true fair odds percentage or odds percent to hit these plays actually have based on what the sportsbooks are setting their odds and projections at. As you can see here, Lorenzen has about a 54.2% chance to hit the under of 4.5 strikeouts based on the sportsbook market. And now these other two plays could go into 5 and 6 man flexes as long as you have other plus EV plays that have above a 54.2% chance to hit the over in your slips. Remember, you need your average fair odds percentage or odds percent to hit of all of your plays in your 5 and 6 man flexes to just be above 54.2+%. So that means sometimes you could dip down into this yellow or red area as long as you have high percent chance plays to hit in your slip. Now just check out Sears. He's listed at 5 pitcher strikeouts on PrizePicks when the entire sportsbook market has his projection set to 4.5. Now he is a little bit favored on the over of 4.5, but on PrizePicks, he needs 6 strikeouts to beat you, so there is a little bit of value taking his under at 5 on PrizePicks. Now this is some examples of some really good value you can find on PrizePicks during the MLB season. You can see here, Jared Jones was listed at 5 pitcher strikeouts on PrizePicks, but the entire sportsbook market had him set to 4.5, but not only that, they were favoring the under of 4.5. We got him at 5 at -119 odds on PrizePicks. I mean, this play was literally a 59% chance to go under 5 strikeouts based on the market. Or even Logan Gilbert here, which was solid value as well, heavily favored over 7.5 strikeouts across the market, and even bumped up to 8.5 on some books as well. I hate to break it to you, but you would never even know these plays existed if it wasn't for a tool like Daily Grind Fantasy pointing it all out for you, and plus, you would never be able to get them in if you were trying to manually scan the sportsbooks, see what is good value, comparing it back to PrizePicks manually, because they're gonna bump it before you are even able to get it in. Having a tool just like this is a cheat code for securing value and making you profitable over the long term on these plays. I really want you guys to understand how crazy it is that you can find plays on PrizePicks that are like -165 on the sportsbooks and why it makes such a deal over the long term. Let's just for a second pretend that we are placing these as straight bets, right? A $100 straight bet at -119 odds would profit you $84. However, let's say the market average on a play was -165. If you were to bet that on the sports books at -165, that same $100 straight bet would only profit you $60. You win an extra $24 just by line shopping and finding the best possible odds, which in this case would be on PrizePicks. This is called plus EV betting, where you're just trying to lock in plays where the actual expected outcome via the market or the sports books doesn't match the odds you're actually getting it at. And that, folks, is exactly how you're going to be profitable over the long term betting pitcher strikeout props on PrizePicks. If you guys enjoyed this video or learned something, if you don't mind, hit the like button, and also don't forget to subscribe on the way out as we post sports betting content like this every single week.